Haunted Mines, not a map that you see all that often. There are a couple of teams that really prefer it. Sweden, for example, the third seed from Sweden that played in Group B, they really like to play on Haunted Mines, but now we have another team that locks it in, and it seems like Team Netherlands decided in favor of it. We are in Group C of the Nations Cup. Once again, we have 28 teams that signed up for the event. It was an open sign-up, so anybody could sign up, which means that we have, of course, a huge difference in skill levels. We have a lot of former professional players, a lot of semi-pros, but we also have a couple of teams where, you know, just people banded together because they wanted to at least have one team to represent their country in the tournament. So as happens with group stages, typically there are a couple of real bangers, a couple more one-sided games too, so we're kind of getting everything until we are separating the top teams, the top 8 teams that will move on to the next round of the tournament. In total, we have 28 teams, 7 groups with 4 teams each. The first place out of every group moves on to the next round. And as I said before, the second phase features 8 teams, so we need 1 additional team. And that means that the second place in every group, all those teams, they will play in a last chance qualifier to determine the final, the 8th team, to move on to phase 2. So it's kind of important that you establish yourselves at the top. In an ideal world, you win the group outright, but even a second place still keeps you at least in play. And that's what the teams are now going for. We have $10,000 of prize money on the line for this event, so there's quite a lot of pizza money on the line. And yeah, the Germans, they've been able to win their match against the Polish team, whereas the Netherlands played previously against Team France and were able to take it down too. Now, there's sometimes a little bit of confusion with the numbers behind them. Some people are like, hey, isn't this guy playing for that team? Why is he not playing? Why he's not in the lineup? Once you see a number behind a team name, it just means that we have multiple teams that signed up for that country. For example, Germany 3 is the third seed from Germany. We have 3 teams that signed up for the Bratwurst Boys. And at least on paper, this is the weakest one. Now, this is just going into the tournament where people are judging the teams based on who's playing for them. That can always be proven wrong later. Sometimes it's just not enough to throw the biggest names together, but you need teams with proper synergy that can work well together. But at least going into the tournament, that's how the seeding process worked here. So in this case, we have the third team from Germany going up against the Netherlands, who have only fielded 1 team for the event. And with Varian already taken for the Germans, it seems like we're going to get a bit of a sniper comp for them here on Haunted Mines. They were also able to get themselves Sylvanas, who wasn't banned, which for me is still a bit wild. If you are doing... Sylvanas gives you options. If you win the Golem, you can push with Sylvanas and make that push even stronger. But you can also, for example, just let your opponent jump into the mines and then you push on lane and get damage with Sylvanas and the team. So that's one option that you now have. And she oftentimes gets banned. If she doesn't on the map, she gets taken very quickly. And in this case, she was actually first pick. So, yeah, we'll see. Teams have started to let her through a little bit more often. Mixed results. We'll see how the Netherlands are going to fare here. Krankel again with Vala. They already play. They have an interesting situation going on in Team Netherlands because they have now multiple players that are essentially main tanks in their normal teams. So Simply, for example, is playing main tank for his Heroes Lounge team. We have Krankel, who is traditionally a main tank in tournaments, and he seems to feel a little bit more comfortable going into a DPS role. So they leave Simply on the main tank and have Krankel then, in this case, on DPS. But we already saw a little bit of role swapping going on. Now, keep in mind that all of these teams, most of these teams, are also practicing for their matches here. The tournament has been announced a long time ago. Teams have formed weeks ago, so there's a lot of practicing, a lot of scrims going on. There are a couple of channels in Discord as well where they're usually gathering and arranging scrim dates. So we'll see how many role swaps we're going to get for the team from the Netherlands as the tournament continues and how flexible their lineup is because of that draft overlap. We have Muradin and Arthas at the front, protecting Vala. Over on the other side, Falstad was locked in together with Sylvanas. And now the final damage dealer, it is Hanzo. Haunted Mines is our first map, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Game number 1 of the best of 3 series in the Netherlands against Team Germany. Team Netherlands in blue on the left side of the map, everybody. The team doing well in the tournament so far, winning their first best of 3 series against Team France. We have Simply on Muradin now, Uki on Hanzo, Irath is playing Arthas, and is going on level 1 straight into the Frost Presence, whereas we got the No-Scope Ninja in the support role, so playing Brightwing for the team, and then Crankle for the second time with an arrow build for the blue team playing Vala. On the right side of the map, it is Sugar Daddy 69 for the Germans with his Chen play again. We can expect Dehaka later on in the series, I would assume, with the Athletic Bird on Sylvanas, Maenaldor on Varian, Timidity on Rhaegar, and Falstad, played by Smaragd on level 1, of course, went straight into the Frequent Flyer. So, Frequent Flyer time for them. Big battle already happening right away up here at the top as the sparks are flying early on. We're getting some fireworks as the blue team is securing themselves a bit more vision on the watchtower. So, yeah, move in for that immediately. And now, nearly a kill over there. Yeah, that was a close one, actually. So, that could have been a problem. But it is actually the blue team that grabs themselves the camp, so they're able to lock that in. Pumpkins already secured. And on paper, at least, the blue team probably the favorite for this one. So we'll still see and find out how all of this is now going to work out for Team Germany, who is currently playing their second game in a row. So they already played a series previously and are definitely warmed up. Now, to be fair, the Netherlands already played a match today too, but they had a bit of a break before they are now heading into the second one of the day. I kind of have to admit that I really like what Heroes is currently doing here with his mount and skin synergy. This is actually looking pretty cool. I've so far not seen that combo, but I gotta admit, not bad, my friend. Maybe could tweak this a little bit more on the tints, but hey, as far as mount synergies go, if you don't go for the money pick, then that one is at least a nice one too. They are stealing camps all over the place. I mean, the mercenary control that we're currently getting from the Netherlands is solid. I mean, very well done. Siege Giants taken, both of the Pumpkins camps taken, and it feels a bit like Team Germany is struggling with control so far. So, don't think they're going to be too happy about this here. But, yeah, I guess we'll see. The attack at the bottom of the map is now putting the blue team also into a spot where they want to do even more work, take a couple of these towers down. Mines haven't even opened up yet. I mean, games in general, haunted mines are obviously always a little bit special. We'll see how much of an effect Sylvanas is going to have later. Falstad, I suppose, technically too. But, yep, this could get very, very interesting right now. So, we'll see. I mean, it's a few more camps that can still be claimed by the blue team. The mines are going to open up in just a moment, and both of the teams are locking in level 4 talents. That leaves us, for now, also with Taunt in the hands of Team Germany. From the start, it was kind of clear that they're trying to go for a sniper comp here and try to burn some targets down after getting that Taunt in play. Now, if that's going to work out or not, very, very different story. But they definitely have the potential to completely destroy the opponent's team here. So, we'll see. But the mines are open. So far, nobody has made a direct move there. We have still some fights, and Vala stacking her arrows as Maenaldor hits the taunt, but he's in trouble. Muradin tries to cut him off, and then it is Falstad who gets the hit. So, yeah, job well done. That's the first blood in the game, and a really, really nice move by Team Netherlands. So they're securing themselves a lead in experience. Haven't made a play yet for the mines themselves, but instead are just going from mercenary camp to mercenary camp, trying to apply a little bit more lane pressure instead, and things are working pretty well for them. Muradin is dipping into the mines for just a second, but nobody is taking care of skulls right now. Not a single player is dying. Okay, Falstad. Falstad finally moves down and tries to get some skulls for the team, as Hanzo is attempting to escape here too. Uki is a bit alone, and with Fat Illidan on his heels, with Chen trying to chase him down, that's gonna be the end of him. Rhaegar comes in with the last fight. Vala also eliminated, and Sylvanas dies at the top as the fight continued. But it is the red team that is now at the bottom of the map, or in the mines, in the lower level, and is starting to take a lead on the objective. This is only the first golem, so it's always a debate of whether or not this is really worth it. But if you get a big advantage on those skulls, then you can definitely start pushing, especially, of course, if you have Sylvanas in your hands too. So they're starting to apply some pressure on Arthas, but Muradin is here, so is now Brightwing. So they're getting some counter damage done. 36 skulls in the hands of Team Germany, by the way. Netherlands with nothing, and it's just a ring around Rosie play. Up into the mines and back out again. Varian gets killed. Chen is in trouble, and here's the play from Arthurs. Another nice lock with a Howling Blast, and that is the end of Chen. So now 4 kills to 2. Falstad was still getting them a few additional skulls. Yeah, they got 55. I mean, no matter 56, no matter what happens here, it's going to be the bigger golem for Team Germany, but it doesn't make that much of a difference if you are looking at 44 to 56. Now, obviously, it's still a question of whether or not the blue team actually goes for the big one and tries to take the skulls away here. But there is now at least a bit of momentum for Team Germany on the objective. Team fights, on the other hand, they're not going all that well. If you go Varian, you traditionally want to look for kills, and it's instead the blue team that is just picking them up one by one. And Vala is stacking fast. She is right now at 19 stacks, and she is going to get mad damage out if it continues this way. I mean, already they're getting lots of damage in. You have the slows that are coming from Arthurs that help a lot. Vala herself went into Frost Shot too, so you have a lot here. And the big thing is, of course, that Vala and Arthurs with those talents are actually also synergizing very, very well. So the slows are working in Vala's favor for sure whenever Frost Presence is coming in here. And the German team is struggling to deal with this a bit. Now, there is a gap around a level between the teams. But, yeah, Germany sitting all the way up at the top, still on lane, and it's another... Has Germany taken a camp? I guess some, but the gap in experience on the mercenary side is massive. So, yeah, Germany is having a slight lead in minion experience. They're doing a bit better with lane clear, which is the one thing that keeps them in play. Oh, Brightwing! And too late. The Sugar Daddy came in and brought the sugar. That is a kill on Hanzo, and Mirrodin falls a moment later. So Team Germany is finally showing some teeth here as they lock in 2 kills for themselves, close the experience gap a little bit. Not able to get the camp, but now the chance to go down into the mines and get themselves more skulls. And a big golem would, of course, help. You have Sylvanas. If you get that golem and both teams have level 10, you can do a lot here. But talking about level 10, the Netherlands already have heroic abilities, and they're instantly moving down into the mines and are starting to chase. They want the fight here. Falstad at the top is trying to get level 10 for the team, but Chen is down just as heroics are finally there. Yeah, a little bit unfortunate for Germany. Well played, though, by the Netherlands. They made the perfect move at the right time. Forced Germany into a fight that they didn't want. And, well, there we are now. Falstad has the first quest reward, so he is at 60 stacks and is now playing for 150. And there we go. That's the next play with Syndragosa. Once more, Team Netherlands trying to be aggressive as they're making a move, but it's being shut down. I kind of like the aggression. They're coming in with a plan, obviously. You use Syndragosa, you force that fight, and then you're just trying to get some kills in, but they had to abandon the idea, at least in this case. Mind Control hits beautifully on Mirrodin as the fight continues, and Chen is actually isolating the two even further. Tries to go for Arthurs as well, who's currently running out of mana, but Chen went a bit too deep and gets punished. 31 stacks for Vala, and she is using them. Crank. Oh, the dodge on the arrow. Oh my god. Falstad just got a new haircut over here. That definitely scratched him. But, yeah, still nicely done. Damage output, you look at Vala, she's at 39,000, and then you look over to the right side, and Sylvanas is the top damage dealer for the red team, is just barely at 25. Massive gap. So these arrows, they're hitting hard. And we're only 9 minutes into the game. Fort at the bottom of the map is destroyed. The blue team with a great play. And yeah, the 5-kill lead. Now, they're still stealing these camps. It's actually crazy. Their camp control is nuts. Germany stole a few away, but still, this is just bonkers. And Vala is stacking even more aggressively here. Every opportunity she gets. Gets strafe out, alright. Tries to zone them away, but here comes again the Panda, and Vala has no chance. Krangle gets hit hard by this. Chen was immediately on him, and once that Vala is isolated from the rest of the blue team, she obviously doesn't stand a prayer. First objective still not taken. Arrow into the back, hitting Rhaegar. So does Syndragosa. Mirrored it on him, but the Ancestral connects. And here comes the camp again. And uh-oh, that is Varian gone once more. And by the way, the camp was obviously taken by the Netherlands. It's just crazy. They're taking every single mercenary camp here. It's nuts. Sylvanas gets Hanzo'd. 12 kills to 5. Level 13 talents available for the blue team. And they're looking good. The fort at the bottom of the map already destroyed, and now they're moving in at the top lane, and they will do the same thing here. Pumpkins connect, and they get the hits. 32,000 damage for Sylvanas, but the German team is currently played to the wall. They're really struggling here. They're absolutely struggling. They're trying to force fights now. They see opportunities as there's nobody at the top lane to shield Hanzo. So they're coming in with 3. They need to take him down quickly. If they don't do that, then it's a problem. And Hanzo jumps away. The taunt and the kill. Nice. Bright being alive for another second. Varian about to fall. And it is a trade. Hanzo dies, so does Varian, and the fight continues. It seems like the blue team really has the number of the Germans here. They're moving in. They drop Sylvanas as well. Falset is in trouble too. And yeah, they got to use the Gust. Team fight after team fight. We are seeing the blue team go through Team Germany like hot butter through cheese. It's crazy. And well, we have a bit of a lull over here. Keep in mind that when it comes to hot butter through cheese, we also still got that merch in the store here. You might not even know that we actually have a merch store, but we have some pretty cool stuff over there. So if you haven't seen it yet, there is a link in the description that you can check out. We got some hot butter through cheese merch and also some Heroes Gaming Community merch. HGC still alive, of course. And the pride and joy of at least our admin here is still the hot butter through cheese apron. So again, guys, if you haven't checked it out, if you want to support the stream, have a look. Link, as I mentioned, in the description. At the same time, we're now looking at maybe an attempt to go for another fight from the Germans. It's 13 versus 13 talents, and the blue team has made a play actually for the golem stacks. So they went in and tried to take that. It's still a smaller golem, so Sylvanas could maybe offset that a little bit, but with the red team being pinned down the way they are, they're not gonna go anywhere near this. It's clearly an attempt by the blue team, by the Netherlands, to get even more aggressive and absolutely roll with it, go for the keep. Siphoning arrow now, Sylvanas attacked and killed before she can do anything here. They're trying to go for Krankle. Vala is still alive, and now Brightwing maybe a bit late, but she gets the heals out. The arrow misses again. Hanzo saving the good ones for the next game. And the bot lane pressure with Sylvanas gone is going to be absolutely insane, especially with Syndragosa now being used to disable the keep itself. So this is going to get wild over here. Yeah, Vala at 65,000 damage, and damn Krankle, calm down. They're going for Chen, they drop him and they murder Varian too. The keep about to be destroyed, and we could actually see the next play straight up for the core with only 3 defenders left and that golem still crushing them with siege giants behind them. What is there to stop the boys from the Netherlands? Nothing, essentially. Boys in blue are making their move, the core is losing hit points, the shield long gone. And that is the lead. The lead in the best of 3 series here in Group C of the Nation Cup goes to the Netherlands as the blue team takes the victory on Haunted Mines. GG. I hope all of you guys enjoy the Nations Cup. We have an awesome event going on right now with a lot of amazing games. Honestly, I can't imagine how many teams we had sign up for this one, so it's really, truly been a blast. But please keep in mind that all of these events are only possible because we have private supporters, we have support on Patreon, and of course also campaigns that we run on the channel. And right now you can support the channel for free. So if you don't have the money to spare to support the channel on Patreon, for example, or become a subscriber on Twitch, this is a perfect opportunity to still help us save Heroes Esports and to help the channel out. All that you gotta do is download Opera GX. You can find the link down in the description of the video. and then use the browser to watch a couple of YouTube videos, maybe this one here, or for example, watch a live stream and play around with it a bit. The browser has an integrated VPN, which is quite helpful, of course. It has a lot of themes and customization options and other features that are targeting gamers directly. So just give it a shot, play around with it a little bit, and that's all that you gotta do to support the channel here. It's absolutely free, costs you a couple of minutes of your time, and I would really appreciate if you would do that to support us here. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the show. Battlefield of Eternity, second map in this best of 3 series here in Group C of the Nations Cup. Quick reminder, with the draft rules, every single hero can be played only once, so the 10 that you saw on the first map cannot be picked again. Creates a little bit more variety when it comes to choices, and makes it so that you don't see Blaze on the side lane every single map, which has happened a lot of times. I mean, not in every match, but still. So now that we're going into Battlefield of Eternity, the Germans have to essentially win 2 in a row if they want to turn this series around. For the Netherlands, this is a really nice start, because they already won their first match. Not to be fair, so did the Germans. But still, if the Netherlands are able to take this series, then they are first spot in the group for now, and have a very, very good shot of making it out of the group as the top seed, and therefore directly qualify for the next phase. Wouldn't be 100% if they win here, but it would be a big step towards that goal. So we'll see what they can do. We got Genji banned out, and Anubarak also got the axe. Battlefield of Eternity. Vala obviously already played, so she can't be played again. Hanzo has already been chosen. Li Ming would be a typical pick here. Maybe Chromie if you're looking for more range damage. The occasional Jimmy with Exterminator, even though we don't see it as often anymore, especially if other choices are available. But given the fact that Germany just banned out Li Ming, reduces at least the options a little bit. Since this is only game number 2, we have plenty of those still around. But we'll see. In comes Hogger as our first pick. Time to pog it out over here. I'm also a little bit intrigued to see what exactly Krankle is going to play, because as I mentioned before, there's a certain amount of heroes that are overlapping on the blue team side, because they have multiple players that typically play the same role. So we have seen, for example, Krankle in a side laner position. If they play a triple front line, like, he can play another melee for them with simply still taking the main role. But if Krankle maintains the range DPS, then I want to see what else he is going to bust out, because thus far his main range damage hero was Vala, and he played her twice now in both series that the team played here in the group. So we'll see. We'll see what they're going to pull off here. Now, the Haka Imperial, that's what we're getting on the other side. So they are taking the Haka for Sugar Daddy again. I've been memeing about this a little bit in the first series, but again, guys, I am dead serious. His Dehaka is insane. Like, he is hitting every single tong that he throws out. He has not only played in tons of tournaments in the past, isn't really that active on the tournament side anymore outside of the Nations Cup here, but we have had him also in tons of community areas that we played, and him on Dehaka, it's an absolute menace. It's ridiculous. This tong is like a homing missile. So while I like to use that as a joke, the underlying point is still well taken. He is crazy on that hero. He's very, very strong. Is that going to be enough to turn a series around and to take out the Netherlands? It's going to be a bit tough to tell, but it's at least a solid pick for them, and it is right down their ally. It's definitely a preference pick. You have that together with Maynildo and Tyrael, and you're kind of good to go. ETC, of course, for the Netherlands, a great choice, because ETC on Battlefield of Eternity is always synergizing well during the objective phase with the Immortal. You can push people into the Immortal stun, slide over and take them there. So he has always been a very, very good frontline pick for Battlefield of Eternity if you can play him well and if you know how to do it. Together with Anduin, you have a few more options here as well, so you can start pulling them out. This might actually be one of those where I could totally see that they're flipping ETC over to Krankle, because it's also a preference pick for him. So really curious whether Simply is going to play him, or if it is going to be Krankle at the front line this time and simply shifting into a different hero. But for now, for Team Germany, we get Thrall, so it's a triple front line that they're playing. And we have Timothy on Chromie. We already talked about her as an option for both of the teams, especially after Li Ming now got banned out too. Could still go Jimmy, Suljin, Cassia for damage. So there's a lot available here, but I'm intrigued. Cassia and Imperia. So we have again this triple front line. I would expect a couple of hero swaps for Team Netherlands, and here comes Malfurion as the final choice for Team Germany. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's jump into the second map of this best of 3 series, Battlefield of Eternity. It is match point. We have on the left in blue the Netherlands with a 1-0 lead in this best of 3. They're off to a great start and want to establish a quick victory. We got Hereth on Imperius, Uki on Hogga, Simply on ETC, Crankle on Cassia, and the no-scope Ninja with Anduin. The Germans on the right side of the map would love nothing more than turn this series around and lock in a victory for themselves. If they can pull it off or not, that's a different question. We have the Sugar Daddy on Dehaka. We have Smaragd on Thrall with Crash Lightning as his talent choice. Plus Athletic Bird on Malfurion, Minador on Teriel, and Timothy on Chromie. A little bit of action already popping off at the bottom of the map. But we have 2 heroes sitting topside. So, how is that going to work out for them? I mean, right now, the big thing is that it's going to be a 2v1 versus Dehaka. Eventually somebody has to move down here. I suppose that part of this is also as usual because we have Thrall with Crash Lightning on the other side. If you go into this specific talent, then of course a 2-3 split is oftentimes a bit advantageous because you're limiting Thrall's potential to get easy stacks, which is always nice. You don't want to make your opponent's life easier than it has to be. So this is essentially what they're currently trying to do. If that happens to be the right play, that's a different question. It at least gives them access to the top camp, as you can already see there. The numbers advantage should allow them to push for the wall as well. And Sugar Daddy will have to play this a bit more passive than he typically would. But for Thrall, again, important to get the damage out here. With this, you have the additional damage coming through on the first reward. So when we're sitting at 15, you are losing rewards, though, every single time to die. You're not being reset down to 0. Once that you crossed over 6, but Thrall needs to also play safe. It's definitely a quest talent and can give you a lot of damage and can be quite nice. Typically we see Maelstrom weapon, but on this map this can be the play. And Thrall is actually now rotating towards the top. So they're matching the opponent's position. Hasn't gotten a single stack yet, which is in and of itself already a bit crazy. But, well, it is what it is for good reason. As mentioned before, the blue team made some deliberate decisions in order to just make the life much, much harder for Thrall. And that's exactly what they're doing right now. So, down at the bottom of the map, a little bit of a fight with a slide on Malfurion. And he's the first one to fall. And then Chromie falls shortly after. That's 2 kills for the blue team, the Netherlands, starting the game off with a bang. Getting big damage in. And, yeah, great job for them. So, I like it. Good moves. And this worked out quite nicely. 1 stack for Thrall is all that we have so far. In the meantime, the Haka gets attacked at the top, and the Sugar Daddy is not going to be happy about this. Well, actually, he survived. No! The last stun connects, and that's brutal. Now we have the Netherlands at the gate, taking a tower down, starting to drop the gate here. Experience potentially even lost to Team Germany. They rotate Thrall in to minimize that. Camps taken from both teams, and of course it's time for the objective to pop up now. But a fantastic start for the blue team with a big lead in experience now as a result for the efforts. So they're looking good, looking great here. Thrall at the top, still sitting tight here. And it is Immortal time, so Thrall is starting to move in. Has not gone for his level 4 quest, by the way. Instead what we got is the Feral Resilience. And they're trying to use it right here. Gets the 2nd stack, so that's kind of nice. But as we discussed earlier, if he just dies once, he loses 6 stacks, so he has to be careful. That's not even something that he has just yet. But these fights are beneficial for him. Finally, people are clumping up and allowing him to get hits in. So he's sitting at 3 stacks here. It's a bit more damage out and starts to poke this. Immortals not really attacked that heavily, but the blue team is now moving in and is trying to get a bit ahead. Down here, that's a 5-man that is fully on it. Trying to burn that down as quickly as they can, and that's a tight race. At the end of the day, it's the blue team who wins the halftime show, but only by a small margin. So, not really a big lead or anything. More hits. A little bit low on mana also on a couple of these heroes, especially when we're talking about Teriel. We got 4 stacks for Thrall now, so yeah, he's working it. But now they find themselves in this weird choke point spot, whereas Hogger is already doing damage over on the left. Working that Immortal down, and Thrall gets taken down, and that's exactly the problem here. Now he's set back to 0 on his level 1. That's another kill for the Netherlands, and it's a beautiful one. Slowing down Thrall's progress. Another slide, the daddy in trouble, and it's another kill. De Haka is gone. Team Netherlands coming out swinging in game number 2. They want the quick and easy 2-0 victory. They want to establish themselves at the top of the group, and thus far, they're doing a fantastic job on it. They get the first Immortal, and will now pressure through the bottom of the map, and we'll see how well Team Germany is going to be doing on defense, considering that they don't even have a level 7 talent yet. So, huge problem for them. Cassia still sitting at the top. I hate that mount, by the way. That mount is so unbelievably stupid. I don't know why people love it. I think it's the meme lords that like it. I personally am looking at this thing and I just want to poke it with a needle. Simply on ETC is a bit low here, but they went through that wall quite quickly. So now it's time for the 4 to lose hit points, and they might just get the entire thing, honestly. They're keeping them at bay well. The lack of the level 7 talent was a problem, and now we get the lunge connected, but they're just zoning them out. The fort gone, and so is Tyrael. Could get the explosion, and win with a mini pull just to get him out of the explosion range. Hiraeth also lost a lot of hit points, but they're all walking away. Nobody is falling here. So, again, great, fantastic actually for the blue team. They're looking extremely strong right now. And, well, with 6 kills to 0, of course they better. Thrall on 4 stacks again. Gets a few in, and it's just the Wrath on level 7. But the team is still struggling. So, yeah. 9.5. They're 2 levels ahead already. Oh, Germany! They are certainly in an awkward spot, because that next objective, I don't think they're going to have a rogue abilities in time. That's a 2-level gap right now. 2-level gap with Germany just missing out on that. Wrath is in. Shockwave, Valkyrie misses right now. That would have been another kill, but the Netherlands, they're sieging up on the topside fort. Anduin hasn't even made a choice yet, but I would be surprised if we actually get the bubble. That would really shock me. So, oh, there comes the play for Imperius. Sorry, for Tyrael. And he makes it. Imperius was actually on him. The brotherly duel over there. They're both a little bit weird if you ask me. Both of them also, both of them essentially move around the battlefield like they got a stick up their ass. Let's just be honest, this is exactly what it is. Look at Imperius just like walking around here. I mean, he is in pain, you can tell. If you walk like that, something is clearly wrong. You should see a doctor. And he's gonna go for an x-ray and he's gonna be like, well, this is a little bit awkward, I don't know what to tell you. You got a stick up your butt. So, yeah. Imperius has problems. On the other hand, great posture. But yeah. As expected, they don't have level 10 abilities, so what are you gonna do? You're just gonna sit there and let your opponent take the Immortal unless you get somehow an isolation kill, and this hasn't happened. So now they can very, very easily just make these moves. And, well, the blue team is getting a bit more aggressive than you would even expect. They're not just simply okay going for the objective. They're realizing there's a shot at them moving in and getting kills. So they're rotating towards the top and are threatening to murder a hero or two. Chromie is able to get away. I think they might still know that Malfurion is here somewhere. And how quickly can he hearth out? He's trying to hide it in the corner. ETC on the move, checks it, and yeah, you're dead. The athletic bird is going to, well, maybe he's not going to die because, yeah, he's actually going to live. Because everybody else was on the Immortal trying to take it with a big shield. So nobody cut his path of retreat off. Simply. A little bit of a sad moment here for him. That's a sad ETC. Chasing him down all the way. And then that happens. Can't even get the kill. And Imperius dies at the top. So a couple of setbacks now for the Netherlands. Germany gets their first kill. Here comes the lick from Sugar Daddy, the man with a homing missile instead of a tongue. They couldn't follow up on that, but still, light bomb engage attempt. Oh, and Tyrael is again about to die. Goes down. Even Malfurion can't save him here, and now Malf himself is also in a bit of a pickle. But he makes it past the gate. So they're trying to defend, and Uki is dead. Chromie gets a kill. Comes in and crushes him. Shut up, you're still behind. Level 13 any second. So there's the extra talent. The gate is gone. Imperius is pushing the top for more experience. And, well, the keep is already taking some hits. So hit points are going down here. Congratulations to Thrall. He's now at 6 stacks. If he gets one more and dies, then he still has one left. So we can argue about the value that he has been able to have so far on that. He is at 14,000 damage. And, well, we got 28,000 for Chromie. With 27,000 for Cassia. Now, some camps about to be claimed. Blue team is still moving towards the top, hoping maybe for a fight. The talent advantages, you're always willing to take a battle. That is a mount, by the way. Me likey. The money pick. Rumor, I mean, again, Blizzard has been trying to squash the rumors that if you ride the money pick, you are actually 10% stronger and have 5% more hit points, but they are very persistent, and honestly, where there's smoke, there's fire. So, I don't know. I just believe it. It's a fantastic mount. It's the strongest mount in the game, for good reason. I mean, you got a living piece of bacon that shits money. What more do you want from life? So, yeah, it's perfect. Doesn't surprise me that it comes with extra strats. Here comes the delivery from Imperius. The lunge, and nobody follows up on it. Betrayed. They betrayed Imperius. He made all the big plays. Was trying to give them the kill, and then what happened? Nothing happened, because the rest of the team just looks at him and is like, dude, you're on your own. So, yeah, they got jealous of the mount. Now, Immortal is popping up next. 7 kills to 2 right now. The Germans still trying to fight back here. They have at least even talent, so this is a moment where they can actually take the battle. Can they get the kills when they need to, though? Seems like it's going to be just a halftime show battle for now. And, yeah, Netherlands with lots of good damage, but Team Germany is actually coming in, and, ooh, they might win this. This is going to be a close one. And oh my god, this is a really close one. Not even 100 hit points between the two teams. Slight advantage for the blue team, though. And here comes that fight. Valkyrie hits Chromie, and this could be a kill. They go for Chromie, and she gets taken down. She gets eliminated, quickly killed, and they go for number 2. Number 3 as both Dehaka and Tyrael fall.
And we say bye-bye.
That's 3 gone, 10 kills to 2. Push at the bottom of the map already lined up since the camp moved in here. It's only 2 defenders. You have Thrall, you have Malfurion, and it's a problem. That keep will take damage no matter what. Hogga is dealing with the Immortal in the meantime. Imperius has defended the top lane, but obviously they're doing work here. With the keep at the bottom of the map already taking this much damage, the Immortal is moving topside, so they are going to get mad value out of this. Already they are ahead. They have level 16. They have a 2-level gap now. What a beautiful play here from Team Netherlands. Really well executed, and yeah, they are on a roll with this. The damage output, 38,000 for Cassia, 30,000 for Imperius, and then Chromie on the other side with at least 33. But this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt a lot. This is a decent shield. This is a 50% shield that they're running, and the level 16 advantage, of course, is big. They want to decide the game here. They want to decide the series here. They want to take that 2-0 and win the best of 3 in Group C. Oh, not like this. Menaldor, my man. So much trouble. Valkyrie hitting the Haka. He is able to get out, but another CC tool comes in as Imperius comes for the lunge. Menaldor jumping in and out. They're trying to distract them as best as they can. Hera, they get Sugar Daddy. The Haka is down. Their keep is gone. It's a 5 versus 4. And the Netherlands, they're going relentlessly for victory here on Battlefield. The Immortal is low, though. The Immortal is low on the blue team. They don't seem to have that killer instinct that they need here in order to go for the core directly. Yeah, if your main pastime is planting tulips, then that doesn't really come as a shocker to me. So they're looking at the keep at the bottom of the map and they're going for it. I can't actually shit-talk them too much because they're absolutely wrecking the Germans here. To be fair, that's Germany 3, not Germany 1, but still. Blue team with great moves. And it pays off. So, 11 kills, 2-2. They keep at the bottom of the map. They could still hold on to it a bit longer. A couple of camps about to be taken. So, Uki is still moving in for that. 13 stacks now for Thrall. How's my boy doing on damage? 28,000. Yeah, I mean, he was killed once, but you can see that even with him only dying once and losing therefore, I want to say 6 stacks, which is of course the maximum, but he didn't even have 6 stacks at the time. So even if you just add those back in, wouldn't really be doing all too well on the quest. Half a level until they hit 16. And the Netherlands, oh, yeah, they're getting another connect here. Material escapes. They're looking for mistakes. They're looking for mistakes from the blue team. They're not really trying to go for the core here. They're just looking to see if with level 16 they're maybe able to force a mistake on the other side, connect the Valkyrie, maybe get a stun in, and then get a kill. And once that happens, then of course you can actually talk about going for the core. But they have to still play this out a bit slow, and that's exactly what they're doing here. So, yeah. With that, in we go. For now, camps claimed. One after another. We're having, in the meantime, then obviously also the next move being made here for the objective. This could be the last Immortal, depending on who takes it. With all of the keeps lost at the bottom of the map, Team Germany has nothing except for their core. So there's also a timer on this, because these catapults will eventually end up on the main structure. Lots of poke. The Haka with another lick connected. No surprise there. But Hogga is at the top, trying to defend the camp. And on top of that, we have at the bottom of the map also the next play being made here. Meaning that the red team has to retreat, has to deal with the catapults, has to deal with the camp, and that allows the team from the Netherlands to move in and get some initial damage done. If they can get a kill here too and start this off with a 5 versus 4, then even better. Anduin has to save ETC though. Germany is throwing everything against them now. They haven't taken a single fort out, by the way. But they also are fully aware that there is a problem, considering that you have level 20 soon popping in for the blue team. So, yeah, there's that. But again, Germany, time is not working in their favor. Your opponent is going to get level 20 and catapults are going to arrive on the core. So them trying to play this slow is not a winning strategy. But there's little else to do. I mean, obviously, they can't just YOLO in. The Aka gets caught and killed within seconds. Big mosh pit from ETC. Huge mosh pit, actually. Allowing them time to go for Chromie, who's trying to waddle her way out of the team fight. She's in trouble. Somehow makes it. The rest of the team still not quite safe yet. Especially Meneldor is suffering, and Tyrael goes down again. By the way, talking about things that are going down, that shield is going down on the core. Catapults are firing away against it. And now the blue team isn't even bothering with the Immortal anymore. It's just going straight for victory, as they have now a 5 versus 2. Chromie is gone. And that is game. They kill both of them. It's a 5-man team wipe. As we have the Netherlands with a 2-0 victory against Germany 3. They lock in the W of Battlefield of Eternity and secure themselves another series in Group C of the Nations Cup. Nicely done, GG, and well played.